I'm ready to log in to my mobile device to pick up my service calls. You'll notice straight away that Priority uses push notifications, so I can instantly see with this red 3 up here that there are 3 service calls to work on today. The system works fully store and forward, meaning that this data is now local to the Android device that I'm on. You can, when you have a cell phone connection, you can at any time refresh the data. And that will pull in all necessary information, including additional service calls, and but also any other data necessary. I'm going to click into the service calls. These are the calls that I need to take care of today. And the first thing that I want to do is check out where they are. So they may be spread across a wide geographic area, as is the case in this example. But as you can see, I've got 2 that I need to take care of that are reasonably close to one another. And I can drill into any of these. I can click into an individual call, and that will take me to the details. From an individual call, I could have seen the map as well. So from the details of everything necessary for this customer, that can include clicking on the map icon for the customer address. And that will display purely the map for this one service call and where we need to go. And from here, this is within my normal Android GPS application. So if I want to click on the route planning, all I need to do is specify where I'm going to start from, and then it'll plan my route for me. Back on my main menu, you'll notice that if I do have a cell phone connection, I can at any point receive details of a new service call that have come from the central system. And I can go back to look at them. I could have simply opened a report on it, or I can look at my service calls again and determine the information that we need to work on. In each of these cases, I can pick up the service call, and you'll notice in the center part of the system the 3 statuses: cancelled, accept, reject. And those are part of the BPM. Please refer to the video on BPM for more details on that, or also the video on the service management at headquarter level. But these are configured by the user. In this case, I'm simply going to accept it. And you'll see that now offers me a further status, so that when I'm ready to leave for this particular call, it's offering me an en route option, which I will click, and that will actually start the time recording going. So I'm going to click this as I'm en route to the customer, and at the same time I'm going to inform the customer that I'm on my way. So I can click on the contacts button, and that will allow me to open up the screen and actually make the call. So the next thing I want to do is to go into my service call and actually start the work. So I've arrived at site, and I can simply select the status start work to proceed. And that opens up a menu of the various things that I can do. So when I'm ready to record labor, I can go into the time reports, and from here I can specify, I've got my dates, and I can specify my times. And I'm going to say that I'm starting at 9 o'clock, and I'm going to go until 11 o'clock and confirm that. I might want to charge a bit of travel time as well. Let's say actually we will confirm that. and there's our labour. Next, I want to cost some parts to this service call, and I can look up the parts that are actually in my van. These are they. I can look further than that. So now I'm looking at my own van, U1 warehouse. There are two of these bulbs there, but I can also see the company-wide stock information if I need it. And I can go ahead and simply add, let's say, quantity 1 to my service call. If I want to bring in a part using barcoding, I can click on the barcode scanner and read in my item. The next thing I want to do is record the actions that I've actually taken, and we've set some malfunction codes in the system. So if I found an electrical fault, then I can choose the various other actions that go with it. And again, this is all down to the user-defined coding that you might put in. I'm just going to say that this is an electrical issue. You'll notice down the foot of the page that if we'd assigned meter reading possibilities to a part, then we could actually take the meter readings necessary. But that's all I need to do to record the actions on the part. And then but I might want to put more detail as to what it is that I actually did to fix this. And I can provide long descriptions, short descriptions, various additional pieces of information in order to complete this. Plus, if I need to, I can take a picture that will actually describe the repair. So the next thing that we can do is add questionnaires. We can create as many of these questionnaires as we like with as many questions of whichever types are relevant to us. I'll just fill in a basic repair form and add it, and I'll just go ahead and answer the multiple choices that I set, and I could go ahead and add a photograph. If I want to add a second of the same form, I can do so. If I want to add a different form, such as a generic inspection form, I can go ahead and you can see there's a different series of questions. Some are yes, no, some are multiple choice, some are data entry, and so I can go ahead and complete the form. Once you've completed these forms, you can send them through to the server. They will be automatically synchronized, and the statuses can make sure that they are emailed directly to the customer with the exact form definition for output, including logos and including different fonts and the like, so that the forms are very much stylized to your specific requirements. So we'll go back to our service call and click on finalized, and that sends all of the tasks through, updates the status. Remember, this could be storing it locally, or it could be passing everything through to the central server. Alternatively, I've created a completely different workflow for this service call, and rather than just going straight to finalized, I can create a signature status. And if I confirm that this is going to update the existing service call, then what that does is it sets it so that there is a report that the customer can check, and they can then enter their own signature. It's usually a courtesy to write their names because we can't read their signatures, and attach. And that attaches the signature to the service call so it can be viewed centrally. I've just received another service call. I can drill into that more recent service call. I want to accept it. And I'm going to fit this in really quickly, so I'm going to say that I'm en route to it straight away. And of course, once I get there, I can specify that I'm starting work on it. With the parts, when I come to add the parts, you'll notice with the keyboards, if I click on those, they're serialized parts. So I can actually choose the specific serial number that I'm using. So then the other thing that I want is I want a history of what has happened at this customer. So I can pick up all my historic visits. I can filter these by individual part, and I can drill into each in turn to see what the history of it was, what the malfunction details reported by the customer were, what the description of the repair was. So I can see the complete history and try and determine what's been going on in order to make the fix. If I need to deal with the quantity of parts in my van, the opening place is likely to be the inventory transfer. And as you can see, it picks up defaults relating to the locations I'm dealing with. So if, for example, I'm replenishing van stock at the start of the day, this will show me the inventory at the warehouse, and I can get more detail by clicking on the eye, just as we did from the van itself. But provided there is sufficient inventory, I can simply add that quantity of inventory, and once I'm happy, I can complete the transaction, and that will write it through to the central server. If I want to make a purchase, then everything depends on whether I have purchasing authority to raise a purchase order or whether I need to make a requisition. But the two features work substantially the same. So in this case, I'm opening a requisition, and here I'm just entering the part number that I'm interested in requisitioning. I can check the inventory details. There is no inventory of this part, and as a result, I want to add a request for 5 additional units and send the order. I can even create a quotation to a customer. For example, I may be on site and I've discovered something that requires fixing but is not covered under warranty or contract. So in this case, I'm going to search for my customers and drop in the customer that I'm going to quote. And the next thing is I can search amongst my parts, and I'm interested in, let's say, one of these, and I will quote the price, and then I'm going to add a second item in here, and we'll say that these are $12.50 each. And there is my quotation, which I can finish, and that goes right through to providing the proposal. So then the final point to mention from a technician's point of view is that if anything had actually been entered incorrectly or needs changing, there is a settings icon which allows me to change the assignment time, to change service types, to update which device I'm going to be working on, to update solutions or symptoms. So I'm not stuck with the data that's passed to me from headquarters.